Welcome back to the Strength Institute channel, everybody. Today, I am bringing you a new mini-series, or at least the introduction to the new mini-series that will be dropping weekly, hopefully weekly, in this new year of 2023. It is called The Road to 10% Body Fat. And you might ask why? Because I got fat. I got very fat. But let me break it down for you in a couple things. First of all, what is it? Pretty simple. I'm going to try to get my body fat percentage from what it is now, which is very high, and I'll show you in a minute, down to 10%. So I don't have a time limit of how long this might take. It might take 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months. I'm going to try my best to give you a weekly, if not weekly, a fortnightly update video. And it's going to follow my journey in getting down to 10% body fat, which is quite lean. You should hopefully see a fair few abs then. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm not happy with my body composition currently. Okay, and the reason why this came around is basically for all the reasons that a lot of people put on weight. I got married this year. We went on our honeymoons. I was traveling around the world for different competitions. I had a couple pretty serious injuries or flare-ups of old injuries in my back and neck, and I haven't been feeling comfortable lifting heavy weights or training very much. I've been busy with work. All the things that people list off as why they don't train or why they stop taking care of themselves. I've experienced a bunch of these things. Apart from, getting pregnant and having a baby, it's almost all the things, all right? It's almost all the things. So my goal was to drop a bunch of body fat. And I think it's going to be cool because you can follow along this journey. Hopefully it will motivate a few people maybe that are in a similar boat to me that just got swept up with too much work last year, or they're recovering from some serious injuries, or they had some big life-changing events. Whatever the reason is, those people can follow what I'm doing, take some things away from it, hopefully. Don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. But my process will be 100% transparent. So I started off with a DEXA scan. I'll get into that in a second. But you will, on these weekly videos or fortnightly videos, you will see exactly what I'm eating. I might chuck in some recipes there as well. You will see exactly what I'm doing for training. I'll upload my training log from TrueCoach. You will see my general activity levels, how many steps a day I'm getting, how many calories I'm burning. I'm going to be as transparent as possible. Okay, so I think it's going to be kind of cool. Hopefully people will follow along. Maybe a few people will get motivated as well. But I've been making too many excuses in my own head as to why I'm letting myself get into not good shape. And that needs to change now. Secondly, this is not a New Year's resolution. I'm actually not a huge fan of New Year's resolutions. I just think that people should have goals all the time. The fact that you would wait for a new year to set a goal doesn't make sense to me. This just happens to align with the new year. All my stuff in 2022 is done. Not a New Year's resolution, just a goal. Another reason why I wanted to make this video series was I was really enjoying the Road to 300 Kilos deadlift, that Strength Quest mini-series that I was doing. Unfortunately, one of these injuries that I'm talking about, hurting my lower back, and then repeat hurting it, and then straining something in my neck, a nerve issue in my neck that flared up again it was an old rugby injury. I have not been able to train heavy. I don't feel comfortable or confident lifting heavy right now. So unfortunately, that Strength Quest mini-series is parked up until a later date when I feel like I can actually get back into some heavy lifting. So I thought that, something that I could do, regardless of the niggly injuries that I'm dealing with, is be strict on my diet and my general activity, which is what this series is all about, okay? Road to 10% body fat. All right. Now we've got that squared away. How did I start this? I actually had this idea that I wanted to do something along this line in late November, I believe it was. But, knowing that Christmas was coming up, New Year's was coming up, there was birthday parties and all sorts of things, I didn't want to get stuck in straight away, setting myself up for disappointment. So basically, I went to get a DEXA scan. A DEXA scan is what people use to figure out what their body composition is. So it's really handy. People in aging populations get DEXA scans to see what their bone mineral content, their bone mineral density is, which is really important for aging populations. But a great thing that the DEXA scan can also do is tell you not only your bone density, but how much fat mass and how much lean mass you have. And it can break it down into segments of arms, head, torso, legs, gives you a whole overall sort of portion as well. So I did this, and it was late November, early December. I booked myself in for a DEXA scan. Actually, if you're local in the Perth or northern suburbs area is a gym called the House of Pain in Wangara, and that is now the home to Metabolic Measures, which used to be a mobile DEXA scan. We're going around a big truck. It is now parked up, and that DEXA scan is in one of the offices at House of Pain Gym. So you can Google that, book in. It's pretty reasonably priced, $80-$90, something around that range. But it gives you a very comprehensive sort of printout of everything that you need to know about your body composition. So I want it to be as accurate as possible getting started, which is why I decided to go for a DEXA scan. And we're going to throw it up on the screen right now. Full transparency, people. Enjoy this. All right. So you see all that orange and red on that skeleton? That's me. And that's all that fat. And that's not a good thing, guys. That's too much fat. I'm going to lose some of it. All right. So we're going to scroll down here. BMI, I don't really care about. BMI is a body mass index. It tells you if you're obese or underweight or normal or whatever. It does say I'm obese. Arnold Schwarzenegger was also obese because it doesn't take into account muscle mass. It's just your total weight for your height. So we're not going to worry about BMI. We're looking at body fat percentage is what I'm looking at. So as you can see, I was actually 115 kilos on my scales at home. On their scales, I was about 113.6. This number down here, you see that one. Whoop, that number down there, 113.6. So it was within 1.5 kilos of the scales, 1.4 kilos. So I'm not sure if I drank a little bit of water or what that was. But roughly, let's just go with my scales at home because that's what I'll be using every day for my weigh-ins moving forward. So 115 kilos. And what my DEXA scan came back at was I was sitting at 28.4% body fat. 28.4%, which is not good, okay? It's 18.4% more than what I want it to be. And on top of that, since this DEXA scan, I enjoyed myself. It was Christmas. It was New Year's. I also bought a Kamado Joe smoking charcoal barbecue, and I've been doing briskets and short ribs and pizzas and pulled pork and pulled lamb and sausages and thick cut steaks, amongst other things. And that did not help. It did not help my overall body weight, which is now sitting at this morning 117.75 kilos. 117.75. I will put a little video up here on the screen so you can see this was my morning weigh-in. January 1, okay, 117.75. So, I haven't been training the last few weeks. I know it's not muscle mass, which means that's fat mass, but there might be a little bit of water weight associated with that as well. But let's just, with a pinch of salt, if you increase my body weight from 115 to 117.5 and you keep the lean mass the same, unfortunately, that means my body fat is sitting bang on 30% body fat right now. 30%. So I need to lose a casual 20% of that. If I'm looking at a number, that's probably going to be somewhere in the 25 to 27 kilo range. We'll be looking at low 90 kilos body weight is roughly what I would assume would get me, based on my lean mass of this DEXA scan, down to about 10%. So I'm not going to jump into the details today on what I'm doing this first week. That will come out in the next video. This is strictly the information, the welcome, this is the new mini-series video, the introduction, and I think that's basically everything that I wanted to cover. I'm overweight. I have a bunch of reasons and excuses, not dissimilar to what a lot of people around me that have said that they're overweight for this reason, very similar reasons. But it's time to make a change. I'm going to do it for as long as it takes. I'm going to upload regular video content with full transparency over my activity levels, my training, my diet, and I am going to take, from time to time, DEXA scans as I hit milestones along the way down. So maybe at 100 kilos and then down at 90 kilos, and as we go down like that, I'll be taking DEXA scans so you can see firsthand what is actually happening. But I would like to just point out one thing. Is that if you do scroll down, you will see, this boy's thick, is my bone mineral density, okay? Now, if you think that skeleton looks chunky, it does look chunky. And I'll tell you why. Is that I am 3.6 standard deviations above average for bone mineral density. See this graph here? Yeah, I'm literally not on the graph. I'm way up here somewhere. You can't see it because I'm off the graph. My bones are so thick. You got some thick bones, boy. All right. So that does take up a little bit of my weight, but I would like to put that out there. 3 standard deviations, I believe, puts you in the top 99.9% of the population. So 3.6 standard deviations, even higher than that. My bones are thick and chunky. You say you have big bones and you can't lose weight. You're lying. I have thick bones and I am going to lose weight. And you can watch it every week. I'm not sure what day. Maybe Thursday. Probably every Thursday. I'm going to release this video on a Thursday. Every Thursday, tune in to find out how I'm going on my road to 10% body fat. All right. See you then.